it helps when coming in at the end of a long day of work to just take a minute and stop and read a passage from the Gospels. Here from Luke. Jesus said to Simon, "Put out into the deep, and lower your nets for a catch." And Simon answered and said to him, "Master, the whole night through we have toiled and have taken nothing, but at thy word I will lower the net." And when they had done so, they enclosed a great number of fishes, but their net was breaking. And they beckoned to their comrades in the other boat to come and help them. And they came and filled both the boats, so that they began to sink. But when Simon Peter saw this, he fell down at Jesus' knees, saying, "Depart from me, for I am a sinful man, O Lord." For he and all who were with him were amazed at the catch of fish they had made. And so were also John and James, the sons of Zebedee, who were partners with Simon. And Jesus said to Simon, "Do not be afraid. Henceforth you shall catch men." And when they had brought their boats to land, they left all and followed him. This passage reminds me my first day of school, when I had to walk to school for the first time. It was first grade, and everyone was telling me, don't accept the ride from strangers, don't talk to strangers, don't trust anybody you don't know. And not a lot has changed for any of us since that first day of school, really. Because whether we're 16 or we're 60 and we're thinking about following Christ, riding with Christ, we're not going to go with him. If he's a stranger, if he's someone we don't know, we're not going to follow him. And I remember that the biggest temptation when I was first deciding to follow Christ, it wasn't to go to work and save money to buy my favorite Cooper in hot red. It wasn't to go out and start dating. The biggest temptation was to become an Arian. The Arians were those heretics of the 4th century, and we read about them in the history books, and they tell us that there were those people who didn't believe that Jesus was really God. They believed that Jesus was a great role model, a great example, somebody to follow, somebody to look up to. But Jesus wasn't quite God. Jesus couldn't do everything. And when you're just deciding to follow Christ and you're asking, who is Jesus? It's important that you give yourself, or at least that you find, the right answer. You're just an adolescent and your passions are pulling you in 10 different directions. And you begin to ask, Jesus, can you really take the reins in my life? Can you really hold on to the horses and keep me on the path that you want to put me on? If Jesus is just a good role model or a good example, he can't do it. And St. Peter, too, also had a little bit of that Arian complex, that Christ couldn't really do everything. Christ goes there and he tells him to go out into the deep, cast his nets into the deep. And there's Peter. He's been fishing all night. Business is bad. For him, the economy is bad. No fish, no food. And he has a hard time believing that this person, who is a great teacher, can also bring fruits to his labors. And so when you feel weak and you want to follow Christ, and you feel maybe tired at the end of your day, you feel that the world is pressing in on you, just remember, ask yourself, who is Christ if I'm going to follow him? Is he just somebody that I have to keep up with? Or is Christ really somebody who can carry me? And if Christ is God, then it makes a big difference.